Oh man. So I lost a subscriber, which I was a bit upset about, because I was anxious that maybe my wife unsubscribed. She sent me sheds. Maybe I wasn't that positive about them. They were nice sheds. One of them I quite liked, but they were quite expensive. So I was anxious about that. So I don't know how how she thinks. I don't know how she's going to afford it. I don't know whether she thinks that I can pay towards it, but I can't. I may need to pay for another skip, because this one's, I think, about half full. So I'm digging out the lawn. Don't know whether she's angry about the way I interpreted her dream. So I didn't hear back from her after that. Don't know whether she's angry that she heard me say there's no one quite like my dad. But she is a bit similar to my dad, my wife. They're both quirky, which is what I love about both of them. They're both, you never quite know what their response is going to be. It's like last night, I sent a text to my dad. A few hours before. Earlier in the evening, can't remember what time. I sent him a text, I sent him a link to Marco Pierre White's Pomodoro sauce. Pomodoro sauce, maybe it's called. And I said, do you think the method is do you think there's his method or his way of doing it is too finicky? Because he put greaseproof paper over the food in the pan, so it was touching the food to stop like escaping. Then he put foil over it. Then he put it through some thing where it filtered it, like conical flask or something. And I thought it's like all these stages. It's like, just put it in the pan and simmer it, lid on, boom, until you got, I mean, I felt it was just overly finicky. So I said to my dad, I said, I knew obviously it would taste good, it'd be nice. I said to my dad, do you think this recipe is overly finicky? In a text message, I sent him a link. I said, do you think it's overly finicky? Well, I'm wondering whether this is overly finicky. His response was, a few hours later, was, Marco Pierre White is still one of the best chefs in the world. He had 3 Michelin stars back in the day. Completely missed what I was talking about. But yeah, it still made me smile. It's funny. I was just clicked a heart on the comment. And it's just funny that he said that. It's like no comment on whether he thinks the recipe is finicky or not, or whether like would he bother with all of that. I think if I'd messaged my mum about it, my mum would have been, yeah, I'm not doing all those stages. she would have understood what I meant. That's why I end up talking to my mum more sometimes with things like that. So my dad doesn't understand. My dad is like, but then again, my dad's response is positive, and I need that because I suppose I'm being a bit negative, saying it's finicky. I don't know. Kind of being a bit critical of him. A bit jealous that he can be bothered. He has the energy and the speed to just do all those stages. So many stages to it, and he's doing it so fast, and it's like, I'm too OCD to do that, like, with such speed. He doesn't worry about mess and stuff. Marco, you're right. But my dad's response, it kind of reminds me of my wife's responses to things. Like when I sent her a link about Sting's song Desert Rose. And I was saying, I like this song, it's amazing. I can't remember exactly what I said, but something about, I just really like that song, Desert Rose. It's just a great tune. And her response was similar to what my dad said about my Arco Fair White, like just a similar way of wording it. Like I've always loved Sting. Oh, I've always thought Sting was great, very poetic or something. And it just parallels a little bit where my dad says that Marco Pure White is the best chef, 3 Michelin stars. Sting is a great artist, very poet. It's like they are not commenting on the song, they're going like literally about the artist. And I think that's really sweet. And my wife has been told she's quirky by people on her job, and she's good at her job, and she works hard. She works most of the time, and the kids at work too, so she never stops. Whereas me, not really doing a whole lot. But what I'm trying to do is develop myself, change myself, allow myself to change. Working through all of this stuff. Working through the anger. Working through the trauma. Working through the anxiety, the fear. Fear of abandonment. Fear of loss. We don't really have anyone really anyway, do we? We only ever have our experience. Maybe we see a message come through from another person. It's just seeing, it's just light touching the eye. Thoughts are generated when we see it. Happiness. Then the happiness goes. And then more thoughts. And I do the same habits repeatedly, even though I know they're no good for me. The same habits. Always checking my phone. Check my phone to see if I have any messages from my wife, from my sister, from my mum, from my dad, from my grandma. I guess you could call it loneliness. But loneliness is kind of a construct. It's more of a, maybe it is a loneliness, but it's more a restlessness, a discomfort in my own skin. It's a discomfort. It's an aversion to the state of being that I'm in at the moment, a lot of the time. So I'm making these videos so I can see myself, so I can see a little bit of where I'm going wrong. And I watch the videos back and I think, fuck, you know, is that me? Am I that angry? Am I that angry? But it passes. Like it passed yesterday. In the video there was intense rage. And when I started to question it and I could feel it in my hands, it went. Every emotion passes. It goes. Anger can turn to tiredness, hunger, can lead to craving because it's an uncomfortable feeling. But it's important to face what is rather than run away from it. If this is what's happening, this is how I feel, then this is what I have to face. If it's rage, at times homicidal rage, then this is what it is. But getting revenge on people, being aggressive towards them, just hurts me. Doesn't make anything any better. Just burns bridges between people. Burns bridges. And it's so sad because it's like all the people that I have connections with, ideally, it'd be so nice if they all got on. My sister shares a birthday with my wife, my oldest sister. They're 1 year apart. My sister's exactly 1 year older than my wife, my oldest sister. And I think it's no coincidence that they share a birthday. It's like, that's the universe's way of saying you're all connected with each other. Your karma's linked. Through your karma has brought you together, through your similarities. You're all more similar than you think. And if you could just find that understanding, find that forgiveness, build bridges rather than burn them. Rebuild ones that are already there. Then my dad shares a birthday with one of his nieces. And the mother of my oldest son shares a birthday with my sister's son. And that's not to say that I would ever want much to do with her again, other than for her to be the best mother that she can to our son. But it's just ideally it's just good for people to be civil. Doesn't mean they have to be friends or lovers. Doesn't mean that they're not allowed to be angry with each other. But if we can just be mature enough to allow that anger to pass within ourselves, so we can find peace and love. Peace within leads to peace without. The outer world reflects the inner world. I know how to change. It's a combination of meditation and taking responsibility. As much as I shy away from responsibility, it's time to take responsibility for my wife and kids. Just feel ashamed sometimes that I can't provide for them financially. I wanted to. I still want to. Deep down. Just feel like sometimes I don't have the strength to keep fighting after what's happened, after the setbacks. As my wife says, sometimes a door closes somewhere and then a door opens somewhere else, and she's right. I just fear of the door getting slammed in my face over and over again. I feel like I don't want to take on too much at the moment either. Like, I'm doing my garden, I don't really want to take on the IT thing at the same time. I just want to get this garden done. I don't even know what I'm scared of. I mean, it's just some IT studying. It's not even that hard. It just takes practice going over the questions again and again. That's all I have to do. That's all I have to do. I just feel sometimes I built a life up for myself that's put so much pressure on me. I helped create other human beings. That need to be looked after. And at times I can barely look after myself. And I'm ashamed of that. Allowing change to happen, I guess. Feelings, tension. I've overdone it a bit with the digging. Oh. I've seen insights recently, I've seen serendipity. No, I think I'm looking rather thin. I don't like the way I look. I'm worried that it's reflecting mental health problems. But I know it's reflecting mental health. Because the anxiety affects appetite and digestion. And I'm afraid of how other people see me. I'm so wounded that it's like I can hear other people's thoughts about me. It's like I worry what other people think of me. I don't even know why it matters. I suppose sometimes I'm so unsure of what's good for me. I'm so unsure of what I need. Sometimes I'm so confused. I don't know. I don't know how to I never took the time to do the work on myself. And as soon as I moved here in this house, I very quickly got back with the woman that is now my wife. And don't get me wrong, I love her to bits. She knows I love her to bits. And I love our 3 kids. It's just that sometimes I wish I'd just taken the time to sort myself out first, so that when she met me, I was in a better state. And when she met me, I would have liked to have been financially independent, so I didn't have to get tied up with my family. Just wish I wasn't entangled when I met her. Just want to be a better man for myself, my wife, my kids. I get restless, I pick the skin on my fingers. The muscles. I think I'm getting a bit old muscle coming back, maybe. That bit of tricep. I know I'm skinny, but what do you reckon? From doing the gardening. Little bit of muscle. Little bit of muscle. Pretty good tricep. Yeah. As Philip said, thoughts and feelings are just thoughts and feelings. Depending on how I'm feeling within, is how I look at myself. So if I'm feeling okay, I look at myself and I think, you know, I look okay. I look quite good. And if I'm feeling insecure and scared and anxious and depressed, then look at myself and I feel ugly. So then I project it onto the screen, how I feel. Oh, I feel like a little girl sometimes. A little girl. I used to wear, but that's not bad, is it? A bit of muscle. I used to wear night dresses when I was a child. My sister's nighties, kind of like a dress. It was just more comfortable. When I was like 3. Was I 3, 4, 5? I don't know. I used to be like, oh, why can't I wear that? So I've always been a bit unsure of myself. Just we always had this at school, you know, like people would call each other gay. And it was like, it was so harsh, man. To use it as an insult. Well, I think a lot of it was people projecting their own insecurities. Because I had a friend that had a gay uncle, or a bisexual uncle, let's say. And I think he was insecure about that. So, so he took it out on others a bit. He felt bad about it. He apologized years later. My mom used to say to me, "I don't see any interest in any girlfriends. Are you gay?" And it was like, no, I was. I was very interested in girls. I just got my heart broken again and again. Because I went after the wrong woman. And I had to experience that. I had to experience the wrong woman to eventually find the right woman. And that's my wife. That's the woman I love, that I want to spend the rest of my life with. Just wish we were living together in our own house. And I just wish that she could be the wish that she could be here with me now, I guess. But I wish that I could be the joyful, happy person that she wants. Sometimes I feel like I'm not good enough for her. Because I was always never good enough. Always felt never good enough. All I ever did was get criticized for everything. So all I ever saw was the flaws in others. Because it was like that was all they ever saw in me. Oh dear. My problems are the negative thoughts all the time, just negativity, just the worry. I overthink everything. I often think someone's annoyed at me when they're not even probably annoyed at me. I could take things the wrong way because that's how I always used to be. My mum was always annoyed at me. Always annoyed at me.